Hey, what's up, Team Deoro? Evan here with a video I'd like to narrate and kind of give you my thoughts and what I was thinking and some feedback on this race. This is Herbalife Category 4-5 at May 3rd, I believe. And so this is a potential rainout that ended up happening, and so we didn't end up having a terribly large field here. I think it was like 13 of us. But we had a good showing by the Deoro crew. Daniel, myself, Brock, and Doug made it out. And today I was the supported guy here. So we were intended on me winning this race. And so the strategy was to keep it together. Not enough strong guys really to um, do a breakaway. Didn't, probably one of us could have broken away, but it would have been a sufferfest for that one guy. There really wasn't anybody else in the field that could work with him. So we kind of intended on keeping it together. And so you see Daniel leading out here straight out of the gun. He pulled a couple laps, kind of setting tempo here, hopefully so that other riders would keep this pace. And so, after about the first lap, I dropped back because, my job here in this race is to keep my nose clean and keep rested. Let Daniel, let Doug, and let Brock work. And so we ended up having about 3, 4, or 5 attacks at a few points during the race, and as you'll see, Daniel did a great job at uh, jumping on those moves, controlling them, keeping them in contact with the peloton. Here you see Doug kind of moving up, and he'll take over a couple laps for Daniel.
Skinny love just last year. Poor little soul, we were never here. My, 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 my. Staring at the sink of blood.
So you see right here, the guy in the blue does the first attack, and almost instantaneously, Daniel just jumps all over him, and this is like classic playbook how to mark a move. You see that Daniel's sitting second wheel here, and the way you mark the move is you you basically get on the guy's wheel, and then when he gets tired, you do not pull through, and so it basically kills the move. And you see, I'm sitting on this guy's wheel, this black kit. I'm just sucking wheels and sucking the draft. And basically, I didn't work at all here. Daniel did, and this guy did. And so right now, the guy in the blue is like looking around at Daniel, like, what are you doing? And you see right here now we're all back together. So classic playbook. How you kill a move is sit on his wheel, don't pull through. The guy in the gray kit here doesn't really recognize. This is the beauty of 4-5 is that you can use people's lack of teamwork knowledge against them. You know, he should have immediately recognized that Daniel was marking him and gone around him, but he didn't. So now the guy in the blue who just spent all that energy pulled off. Daniel's pulling at a very low tempo pace again, probably pulling 200 watts here, doing nothing on the front. And so this was the first of, I don't know, 4 or 5 attacks that we saw that Daniel just absolutely killed. And I basically spent no energy here, which is the way it's supposed to work. I did nothing. So here's the second move of the race. You see the guy on the green kit on the far right hammering it. Daniel's on the front, immediately jumps on his wheel. Basically the same scenario. Um, I'm just sitting on wheels, sitting in the pack, letting it get strung out. Um, Hopefully, guys don't get huge gaps. Um, and Daniel, again, you see him sitting second wheel, and this guy in the green kit is pulling really hard. He's probably going to move up this hill here, get tired, want people to pull through, and Daniel just sits on. Again, fantastic work by Daniel. I get a little worried that the gap was getting too, this guy in the black kit was getting gapped too much. If those 7 riders in the front had worked together, it's possible that they could have gotten away from this guy in the black. So I jumped off his wheel and tried to and bridged up. It was just a small amount of energy, but you know it's hard to tell at the time what's going to happen. So I just didn't want that group to move away. But I knew I should have been a little more patient, knowing that Daniel was up there killing the move. But again, another great move that he killed. So this is a little later in the race. Just wanted to point out, you see how Daniel is just absolutely trolling the front, which is what you got to do. You got to let everybody know that you're up there. You're, you're, and you see Doug move up here. I mean, we're just like trolling the front, and everybody sees us. Everybody, we got 4 guys out on this race, and everybody's just watching us. And I'm sitting behind Daniel here, and um, we basically can control this race. We don't let moves go. We can make a move if we want. But we always had a guy on the front on this race, and it's intimidating. It's it's very people don't want to work. So right here, it's real hard to see with this water spot, because it rained earlier in that day, and so we get a little bit of splatter. But a couple guys go down the road, and you can see them right up there. And Daniel's just up there bringing them back, reeling them back down. They kind of went off, and Daniel runs up there, um, and it's kind of funny. Is they absolutely stopped the move when they turned back and saw Daniel just bearing down them. Like right here, you see Daniel kind of sit up. That's because the 2 looked back earlier and saw him coming after them, and they knew that he was not going to work with them, and so they basically just stopped. And again, in these 4.5s, riders aren't too aware of strategy, I guess you could say, and so they don't really realize. But anyways, they saw he was coming and basically stopped working. Which I mean, they had a good 200-yard gap on us, and had they worked together, they could have really hurt us. But Daniel brought it back. So kudos to him for implementing the team strategy. Again, I haven't done anything in this race at all. I'm just sitting on wheels. So you're going to see an attack around this corner. Again, Daniel is just absolutely all over. I mean, he's just watching, waiting. Look at this, like a pro, like a pro. I mean, he is just like, he was just waiting for it, knew it was going to happen. I mean, just jumped all over it. and this is team strategy. Again, I'm sitting on wheels. I'm not making an effort. I didn't put 800 watts down right there. I put probably 300 watts down. And look, everybody sat up. Daniel probably dropped 800 watts right there. Um, I'm sitting in, not using any energy at all. Just absolutely like a pro. Fantastic, fantastic work. And again, they turn around and see them. I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, this is about the end of the race. We're on the 2 to go lap. You're looking at our lead out train right here. You saw Doug just peel off, and we got Brock on the front. And I'm on Daniel's wheel, so we're all on the front, working on our lead out. We're coming up on 1 to go right here. This is the start finish line up this hill. Brock is charging it up the hill for us. And this is just beautiful stuff right here. Lead out work in category 4. Awesome stuff. Brock puts us on the front, peels off right here. Job done. Good job, Brock. Job done. It's up to Daniel to get us around. His job is to get me around to the final corner and drop me off. And hopefully I can bring it in. So, with 4 guys, I know everybody's watching us when we're lined up, and I'm sure I've got somebody just chomping on my draft. We do have a guy down the road here. He went way too early, and I knew he went way too early. And so you're going to see us pass him here in just a few minutes. In fact, there he is. He went way too early. And you can see here he's done. Not going to happen. See ya. See you, buddy. So Daniel was just crushing it. I mean, just crushing this lead out, just pulling us around way earlier than anybody else can go. Almost a full lap. He's just, putting everything he's got. We actually gapped the field here, Daniel and I. And so his job is just to get me to this corner, and it's my job just to bring it home. And so Daniel's so strong, I think I struggled getting around him. And so I brought it home for the win. And so Daniel ended up having second place because nobody else was there. And, kudos to Daniel. He's definitely stronger than I am still at this point. So good job, Team De Oro. That's what it's all about. Working as a team. Brought home first and second in this race, and you saw Brock and Doug, doing a good job working for us. Having a fantastic year. All right, peace out.
And